First question is obviously from Julien, and it says, my questions are, right now I'm doing everything: lead generation, sales, project management, design, front end, dev, back end dev. Sounds familiar. I used to do all the same. How big should I get before I start hiring, and what are the first steps I need to take to replace myself? So the biggest thing is to really kind of understand, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what do you like doing, and literally make a list. And this applies to anybody, right? Really anybody that's trying to even scale, because so many times as an agency owner, not an agency CEO, you're doing everything, right? And I'm surprised you didn't put in washing the dishes, cleaning the toilet, all that kind of stuff. But you really need to make a list and figure out what you really want to be doing and what you're really good at. And then make a list of the things that you're really bad at that are key in order to growing and taking your agency to wherever you're trying to go, and hiring for those. So in your next question, and I guess we'll kind of jump into that as well, you kind of alluded you're not very good at sales. So maybe your first hire needs to be in sales. Or, I was really bad at project management, right? I was not a good at attention to detail, right? I liked creating and setting things up. So my first hire, if I could do it over again, should have been a project manager. And I almost think almost all of you, your first hire should be a project manager. Now, a lot of you think, well, why not an actual person actually doing the work? So what I would do is I would actually outsource all the design and all the development work and hand off all the project management to the project manager. So I don't need to be dealing with the client directly on a day-to-day basis, because what will happen and what you'll see, and this is probably what a lot of you guys see in your agency or if you're freelancing, a client's going to call, have everything emergency meeting, right? Everything's emergency. And then it's going to screw up all the other timelines of what you need to do in order to scale your agency or grow and all that kind of good stuff, right? But if you have a project manager, they can actually save you from doing all that. So project manager, it would be the first. Now that you're doing everything, what I would actually start doing is actually documenting everything. Whenever I would think about, all right, I'm doing all this stuff right now, and I don't want to do it ever again, I would literally record my screen and I would pretend I was training someone. And then I would take each of those different things that I would do and I would put it in a folder or wiki or whatever, and I would basically have training materials for the people coming in. And so I would do this ahead of time before I actually hired someone. So beforehand I could say, hey, this is what you're actually going to be doing. Does this fit what you enjoy and what you love? And then they can get up to speed, and then you don't really have to train them outside of or within the things that you already sent them. Does it make sense? All right, got it? The other thing is you want to make sure you're charging enough. So many of us are not charging enough, so hiring someone is a pretty big stretch, and you should try to get to hiring someone immediately. I mean, really, really quick, because that's the only way to grow, or you're just going to be a freelancer. And if you just want to be a freelancer, perfectly fine. But to the people listening, but to this particular question, you want to transition to an agency. Agency has employees. Agency has it where the owner is not doing everything. And so if you need to take a loan out in order to hire someone, do that. That's what I would do. I mean, try to get to a point to charge enough. Even if you're just breaking even on the first project, when you actually hire the project manager, do that. So then basically that client's paying for that project manager, and then everything else on top of that is gravy. I want you to join the conversation. Make sure you comment and subscribe. Thanks for giving me your most valuable asset.